Many people are aware of the problems that the forward Barrett engine has in relation to flex plates and flywheels coming off the back of the crank. These engines produce a prodigious amount of torque, and that can just shear the bolts off. So our fix for that is a dowelling jig that we make, which allows you to fit 6 dowels into the back of the crank through the flywheel or the flex plate. That way the 6 dowels do the shouldering of the twisting moments, and then the 6 bolts that are in the engine are allowed to just do the retaining of the flex plate onto the actual crank. The jig's a pretty easy thing to use. All we need to do is bolt the flex plate onto the crank, put the jig over the top of that, bolt it all up with the bolts that are supplied, and then drill into the crank. This is hardened, by the way, so you drill into the crank and the flex plate by way of the marked drills to an appropriate depth, which is also marked. Once you've got that organised, you can take the flex plate and the jig off, increase the size of the holes in the flex plate to give you a clearance hole, and then bolt the whole unit up once you put your dowels into the back of the crank. That's a pretty straightforward and simple fix, but it rectifies the problems of the flywheels coming off the back of the crank.